Ruby goes with Paula. Well, you're in two files now. You're not a column because you're not going stirrup to stirrup with another person. I'll put you into columns here in a moment. You should take it off and do it several times. Yeah. Yeah. Oops, I missed the column. We have to wait till we get to the other side. That's all right. Keep going. Okay, files right and left down the center to form columns of two. Come together, turn down the center. Come together first, Juliet. Yep. You should be in the center. That's fine. Okay. Now remember, if I say a column right, you turn as a pair. So columns right. Stay behind the horse in front of you and next to the horse beside you. Columns halt. Go ahead and get back in behind your horses, Ruby and... No. The columns were supposed to turn right. You're in columns now. Okay? So you everything you do together, you do side by side with your pair. Okay. So now you're in columns of two. So when I say columns right, columns forward, columns right. Go ahead. Juliet stays right next to Paula, right next to stirrup if possible. You two go up to where they turned and turn together. There you go. So the columns, whenever there's a columns command, you stay in the basic columns format with your horses side by side. Okay? And the person on the inside of the arena has to go a little slower when you come to the corner so the horse on the outside can make it around and stay stirrup to stirrup. Let's see if you can't go around once, staying nose to nose, stirrup to stirrup. That's your job right now. Nose to nose, stirrup to stirrup. Stay with your partner to the extent possible. So move him over, Ruby, if you can. And stay right next to Miranda. There we go. Now try, in the corner, the inside horse has to go a little bit slower than the outside horse. Good. Okay, columns cross over. Stay with your partner, and follow the horse in front of you. Very good. So you know when you get there, you're going to turn to the right. Okay, let's see if we can stay in column formation with a little bit of gating. So it's Paula that's in charge of the speed. She is on the right in the right-hand file. So she's at the front of the right-hand file, so she dictates the speed. So columns, gate. Let's see if we can keep together once around gating. Stirrup to stirrup, try it. Okay. Columns right down the center. Stay in columns. Okay. Now, files right and left to the rail. Paula turns right. Ruby stays right behind Paula. Juliet goes left. You're all going to go towards the trailers. Go towards the trailers. When you go to the rail, you just pick up and go to the rail, and you're going in the same geographic direction that you were before. You should be gating. All right, keep gating. See if you can stay in gate. And troopers cross over. Staying in gate. Keep gating. Troopers cross over. Juliet, cross over. Troopers cross over. Troopers cross over. Okay, that should put Ruby in front and Miranda in front. Keep gating. So Ruby's in charge of the speed because she's on the right-hand side. Keep him gating, Ruby. Okay, troopers cross over. Troopers cross over. Yep, that's correct. You're right. Keep gating. All right, let's try it again. Let's get it right this time. Troopers cross over. Remember, you're going to cross left stirrup to left stirrup with the person across from you. There we go. Files right and left down the center. So we're going to go into making columns. Columns left at the rail. Go to the rail and turn left. Keep your column formation. Columns gate. Okay, now Miranda's in charge of the speed. She's the right-hand horse, the lead horse, and the right-hand file. All right, let's try the next corner. Do the next corner. Let's see if we can't do it right. Give him a poke there, Ruby. Better. Better. Okay, files or columns walk. Columns walk. Now, do you remember when you're in this formation what happens when you do a troopers crossover? Everybody turns at once. I haven't called it, but when we turn, Miranda will end up behind Ruby. Juliet will end up behind Paula. And then when you get to the opposite side, you will turn at the same time. So everybody turns exactly at the same time, and so one horse ends up behind the other. Troopers cross over. So Paula ends up next to Ruby. Juliet ends up next to Miranda. Yes, yes, go ahead. Very good. Now when you get to the far rail, you're going to turn again. And this time Ruby's going to end up on the inside, and Paula's going to be on the outside of that pair. There you go. Troopers cross over. All right. Juliet gets up next to Paula. Next to Paula, Juliet. Next to Paula. Yep, and Miranda comes behind Juliet. There you go. So now you all turn left at the same time. And Miranda ends up next to Juliet. No, Juliet should be in front, Paula. Yeah. Juliet gets moves up in front. And Miranda's next to her, and Ruby's next to you. Let's try it again yeah. Next to Juliet. Okay, we're going to do this at a real slow pace. Okay, and you're supposed to be next to Paula. Okay. Columns. Wait a minute, I'll wait till you get on the other rail. Okay, be stirrup to stirrup with your partner. So now I'm going to say troopers cross over. Everybody turns at the same time to the left. It ends up behind Miranda, and Paula is behind Ruby. And when you get to the far side, Ruby will be in front of Miranda, Paula will be next to Ruby, and Juliet will be next to Miranda. Yeah. Do you understand what's happening? It's the back two are not turning at the right time. They don't get to go all the way to the rail. They turn when the people in front turn. All right? You keep in your pairs when you get across. Let's try it one more time. You're kind of like the four squares of a box. We're turning the box. Okay, so Troopers cross over. Everybody does it at this. Yes, that was very nicely done. Now, when you get there, as soon as Juliet turns, Miranda's going to turn and be next to her. And as soon as Paula turns, Ruby will turn and be next to Paula. All right?